my name is Raquel. I'm here with Restore Yoga and Wellness, and today's practice is going to be practice before you go to work. So here you can take about 10 or 15 minutes of your time before you go to work to focus on yourself before you go into everything else you have to do today. So you can take this time before your workday begins and celebrate you. So in front of me, I do have 3 oracle cards that I've gone ahead and picked for you. If you want to take some time here, just focus on which one, if any, are calling your name. And maybe take a couple deep breaths as you pick one. And you can even pause the video. And when you're ready, I'll just go ahead and quickly go through them. So if you picked the first one here, we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And these are something that maybe you want to focus this practice around, or maybe it's a reminder that you're going to need throughout the workday. So that one is there. And if you pick the second one, we have service. I feel good when I can help others. And that's that card. And lastly, if you picked the third card, here we have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Again, these are just guidelines, maybe a reminder you need throughout the day. Just a little something. So I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. And when you're ready, we can go ahead and just find a comfortable seat. You can go ahead and sit on your hips, or if you want a blanket or a pillow, you can put that there. Just find some comfort as we start to settle into the mind and into the body. You can lengthen your spine, sit nice and tall, and begin to connect with the sounds around you. Noticing anything you're hearing, maybe cars passing by, maybe kids running around, whatever it is, just noticing. We'll start to bring our attention inwards into our body. As we breathe in, feeling our belly fill up with air, and as you exhale, feel it deflate like a balloon. If it's comfortable to do so, inhaling through your nose and out your mouth. If thoughts come, just acknowledge them, say thank you, but right now this time is for me. I'm taking this time before the workday begins. And when you're ready, we'll start to bring our attention back to our surroundings, wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe rolling the wrists. And when it feels okay, we're going to go ahead and inhale, lifting our arms up to the sky, and exhale, bringing our hands to our heart center as we thank ourselves for showing up today and taking this time before our workday begins. Maybe calling to mind an intention you would like to set, or if you picked a card earlier, keeping that in your mind. And we'll go ahead and lift our hands back up to the sky, lengthening our spine, and exhaling, planting our left hand beside us as we stretch out the right underarm and all through our side body. We'll take 2 breaths here. And inhale, coming back up to center, And just switching sides, planting that hand below you as you stretch to the side. Taking 2 breaths here. And coming back down to center. We're going to go ahead and place our hands on our knees or on our thighs, and just gently as we exhale, rounding the spine. And inhaling, drawing yourself forward as we open up our chest and slightly lift up our chin. And exhale, round the spine. We're doing some seated cat-cows here. Just starting to awake our body as we connect with our breath and our movements. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to go onto our tabletop position. If you need a little bit of support, you can put a cushion beneath your knees. Otherwise, we'll plant our knees under our hips and our hands beneath our shoulders and just start to wiggle from side to side. Feeling that movement in our body. And then coming to a flat back, we're going to inhale, drop the belly and slightly look up. And exhale, pushing your hands into the mat, rounding your spine back. And inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, pushing away. We'll continue this at our own pace. And coming to a flat back, we're just going to go ahead and extend our right leg out long. Feeling a stretch in the back of our calves. Playing around with your range of motion. And if you'd like a little bit more, we're going to inhale, lifting that leg up off the ground, flexing those toes down. Breathe here, and then cross over, feeling a side body stretch. And you can breathe here, noticing any sensations in your body. And inhale to come back through to center, balancing here for a moment, engaging your core. If you want a little bit more, you can go ahead and lift the opposite arm out long, maybe keeping both out long, or you can drop those toes. And then coming back to center. And we're switching sides, bringing the left leg out long, feeling the stretch in the back of our calves. And when you're ready, inhaling to rise up, taking a moment here, and then crossing over as we go and look at those toes. Breathing here in this gentle twist. Inhale, bring that leg up. And if you want a bit more, extending the opposite arm out long. And we'll breathe here. Dropping the hand and the leg down. If you have a pillow or a bolster, you can go ahead and grab it now if you'd like. And we're going to bring our knees about mat width apart, toes to touch, come on back, and just rest on this pillow. And you don't have to have the pillow here, it's optional. And we'll just breathe as we feel ourselves melt. Seeing if you can direct your breath to any parts of your body that may need it. Maybe the hips are tight, or your arms. Just taking this time for yourself. You deserve it. And if you're resting on one side of your head, just making sure you switch sides. feel your back body expand with your breath. And then we're going to come up, lifting our heads, and slowly walk our way up, moving the bolster out of the way. We'll come back to our tabletop position. And from here, we're just going to walk the knees back slightly, curl those toes under, and as we come up into our downward facing dog. And from here, you can just walk it out, inviting in more movement, feeling a generous stretch in the backs of your legs. And when you're ready, just lightly lifting up your right leg off the floor, just a little bit, and bringing it back down, switching to the other side. Just switching between the two of them as we engage our core. Maybe slowly each time, bringing them a little bit higher. And then coming back to both feet planted. And we'll go ahead and come into a plank pose. Taking a breath here. You can also come to a half plank. And then back to downward facing dog. Just flowing between the two of these at your own pace. One more time in each pose. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. When you're ready, just lifting that right leg up off the floor, and we're going to bring it through, planting it between our hands and dropping that back knee. We'll walk this foot forward a little bit and frame it with our hands. If you'd like blocks here, you can use that. And we'll just feel this low lunge stretch. And when you're ready, if you want, you can curl those back toes under as we lift up our back leg. Feeling another stretch. And we'll plant our left hand beside our right foot. You can either keep this knee lowered or have it up. We'll come into a twist, taking 3 breaths here as we look up. And coming on back, we'll go ahead and walk our hands towards ourselves as we come into a runner's stretch, flexing the toes up and coming back through to our low lunge, planting those hands, and we step it back into plank pose. Here you can chaturanga, or you can come right to downward facing dog and walk it out. We'll go ahead and lift up our left foot and plant it through. Again, lowering that back knee, feeling this low lunge stretch. It's pretty deep in our hips and our thighs. And when you're ready, either keeping that knee planted or lifting it up as we come into our twist. And we'll go ahead, coming back to our low lunge and into our runner's stretch. Feeling a stretch all through the back of our legs. And we'll come back through, planting those hands, curling the back toes under, stepping it back into plank, and drop your knees. And just come back onto your heels, or if you'd like, you can also grab that bolster or a pillow and sit on it. And we'll just start to connect with our breath. Feeling how our body feels now compared to how we were feeling when we started. Start to notice any feelings that are happening in your body, maybe warmth, maybe there's some pain, or other sensations. We're going to become an observer of our body, performing a quick body scan. And we'll start at our feet, just noticing how they're feeling, observing them. And we'll bring our attention up to our ankles, up to our calves, eventually to our knees and our thighs. And our hips, and the sides of our body, our low back, abdomen, up our front, towards our collarbones, and our shoulders. Noticing your left arm, the left elbow, left forearm and wrist, the palm of your left hand, and each finger. Moving that attention to our right shoulder, being an observer of our right arm, our right elbow, the right forearm and wrist, the right palm, and each finger. Now we're noticing our neck, all the way around it, up to our jawbone, our ears, each feature on the front of our face. Eventually our forehead, and our crown. Take a few breaths here, soaking up this time with ourselves. You can remind yourself that you're worthy and important. And I'm proud of you for taking this time for yourself before the busyness of work. And go ahead and take one more big breath in and a big exhale out. One more. And we can let go of anything else that no longer serves us. And go ahead and bring our hands up to the sky and back down into our prayer position at our heart. And I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Hope you have a great work day, and remember to take little breaks for yourself throughout the day. So thank you so much for joining me.